Dies Mariv agus we're gaid fáilte chuig an torna chlór sa sra nuasa Guaranteed Irish. You're very welcome to our programme, and our first company this evening is Brooke and Shoals Fragrances. Tá fáilte Alison Banton. You are the founder of Brooke and Shoals Fragrances. So where did it all start from?
I started the business 10 years ago in 2010, and it was, as I'm sure you can remember, one of the worst recessions that we had in decades, and a lot of people were saying, are you completely mad, or what's going on here? But I had already had, at that point I had 2 retail shops, and I was closing one down because of the recession, and we were creating a lot of our own products for the retail shops.
What kind of shops were they?
Gift shops.
Okay.
And we still have our main shop in Greystones in County Wicklow, and that's where we're based, and that's where we manufacture. And I had another shop in Dundrum, and the recession was hitting really hard, and we closed it down. But we were starting to make our own products, and I was starting to make candles and diffusers. So I said, let's not throw out the baby with the bathwater. These products are fabulous. Other retailers are starting to ask me, could they have my products for their shops? So I said, let's scale up the business on a manufacturing and wholesale basis. Let's not open any more of our own shops. Let's supply our products to other shops around the country, and then let's look at exporting. So that's what I started to do. I had 3 products to start off with. I mean, I was making them myself in my own kitchen, but now we have about 17 different fragrances. We have over 50 products. We have over 400 retailers that sell them both in Ireland and abroad.
An grá atá ag Alison do chúracht, hielrich sé ó bhulla even na biotal a fiog sí mar chalínóg sa gádaín Rois Kirklach a bhí ag ir antín Molly. Bhí ráitas ag Molly nóir Alison dearmad riamhéir, go nethróch, the Babbling Brook and the Whispering Shoals na piotal go cúracht. Tháríthe, nuair a bhí Alison ina culla, cuireadh ar antín Molly fíor chúracht sa bhudéil lán le piotal sleamhna agus isce, agus nuair a dhúisigh an chalínóg ar maidin, bhí sí luchóireach tus gan 10 bhulla álan.
I just have these amazing fragrance memories as a young child where the Brooke and Shoals helped me to make this perfume. So I knew that when I was going to start my own business, in the future, when I was much older, that it would be called Brooke and Shoals Fragrances.
Really?
Yeah.
Gosh, because it is a lovely name.
Yes, and it's quite unusual as well, because I'm not Brooke or I'm not Shoals, but it's because of what she used to say to me when I was little.
And was it always going to be candles and fragrances when you decided, yes, we're going to diversify here and deal with the recession this way?
Well, I was always very creative, and at that point I was also designing jewellery, I was designing accessories,
really?
I was designing a lot of other things, because at that point my dream was to have a chain of my own stores that sold fragrance products, that sold jewellery and that sold accessories. But I decided to scale that back down again, and you have to concentrate and do one thing really well. There's no point in trying to do a few different things and not do anything and fall properly and fall between a few stools. So because I loved the whole idea, and I was always playing around with essential oils and aromatherapy and things like that, and making my own potions and lotions for years, I decided that I was going to really focus on that and expand out that side of the business. And we added body products to the range, and we even did perfume at one stage, which we're going back. We've kind of sold out of that for the moment, and we're going to go back and revisit that again now next year. So it's expanding out the fragrance side of the range.
The world has changed. However, business is continuing, and opportunities are emerging all the time, even in the most severely impacted sectors. Businesses need to grasp these opportunities and build confidence to thrive beyond this period. Cash flow and liquidity will remain a priority. However, one of the interesting things we've seen is that supply chain is crucial in order to maximise opportunities. Perhaps the most interesting is ISEF's Pandemic Stability and Recovery Fund. This €2 billion fund is designed to help sustainable businesses navigate through these challenging times. Speaking of cash flow and liquidity, there are a number of state-funded initiatives to help SMEs through this challenging time. These include the Working Capital Loan Scheme, the Credit Guarantee Scheme, and the Online Retail Scheme. As a member of Guaranteed Irish, you have an opportunity to build a strong network of like-minded business people. These people may have practical experience to help you navigate the current climate and maximise opportunities. Especially in the current environment, such support is invaluable.
On the point of fragrance, how do you decide what essential oils and what bits of this and what bits of that?
When you break down a fragrance, you've got top notes, middle notes, and base notes. And the top notes are the notes that have the most impact, but that last for the least amount of time. So they're notes like lemon and bergamot and citrusy type of notes. So if you put a perfume on and you smell it initially, the smell that you get initially can be quite different from the smell an hour later. Because initially you're smelling the high impact top notes, which could be quite citrusy. Then after they evaporate, you've got your heart notes or your middle notes, which could be, you could have a very floral heart in a fragrance, which would be things like rose or lavender or jasmine. And then that part of the fragrance would develop then. And once that evaporates, you've then got your base notes. And your base notes are the notes that have less impact initially on your nose, but there's quite an element of longevity to those notes. So that would be things like your more woody notes, your more earthy notes.
Musky.
And musky notes. And then they would last on the skin much longer and they would still remain there. And it's called the dry down when it comes to perfume and fragrances.
Alison, you're the perfect person for this company because you speak with such knowledge and passion.
Sa bhliain 2004 bhanig Alison an chéad siopa Brooke and Shoals san tlucha lia I gunda Chilvantáin. Áit dhiail si brontanis chomad le seodra agus cuinle. Go lua ina dhé sin, thosaigh si a díl a cuinle féin, agus sa bhliain 2010, tháinig Ferbert eile sa bhéid is gur thosaigh si ag dála a cuinle le díal I siopaí eile ó cheann na tíre. Tá Brooke and Shoals ag méadú I gcónaí, agus tá an bhean gnó dígrasach ag asportálanis go dtí an bhreatain, an Eorp agus le déanaí na Sáta Aontaithe.
When you're thinking now about the future and expanding business, where do you think you'll be looking?
Well, for us, the future, there's two aspects to the future. There's a future of where do we go with our products, and we're going more down the road with our body products and wellness products. And then there's the aspect of our sales channel. And so exporting, obviously, we have a lot of stockists within Ireland, but we also want to look more at expanding into export markets.
Online shopping seems to have really come into its own in recent times with lockdowns and COVID. Has it had a positive impact on your business?
Yes, absolutely, Mary. I mean, what we found is the majority of our sales prior to COVID were done through our retailers. We would ship out the products to them. But majority of our retailers closed down during COVID. And we were delighted with the number of customers that were then going onto our website to buy our products.
And listening to you, it sounds as if you could be kept going every hour of the day. It's a busy, busy life.
It is.
How do you kind of work it out between work and non-work?
Well, for me, it's funny because being my own boss means I'm either working 24 hours in the day or I have the flexibility where, you know, if there's something on for one of my daughters, I can attend that at school, or at the drop of a hat, have a family weekend away. I can say, I'm taking Friday off, guys. You know, I worked all last weekend, so I'll see you next week. So that is the joy of being your own boss.
How many children do you have?
I have two girls. They're teenagers. They were much smaller, obviously, when I started my business. And I think I've provided a good role model for them in terms of being there and being committed to family, and also being a strong working mother and balancing family life, you know.
And is that something that's central to your, I suppose, sense of self, to be able to work and to mother as well?
Absolutely. I mean, I suppose I would define myself. I mean, how do we define ourselves? I would define myself first as a mother, and then as an entrepreneur and a creative businesswoman.
Do you think it's important, Alison, for somebody embarking on their own business to have very set goals?
Oh, absolutely. You have to know where you want your business to go. Now, you have to also be prepared to be flexible and pivot along the way, because you just never know what life is going to throw at you. COVID-19, who had foreseen that last year?
No, of
so
course.
then that's about, okay, I might have a goal about expanding into America, but now you have to pivot. You've got to go maybe more online. You've got to develop different products. But you need to have a goal for growth, and you need to have a goal for where you want to scale your business.
Your company is part of Guaranteed Irish,
Yes.
and you often go into retail outlets, and there will be Brooke and Shoals, but there'll be many other candles and diffusers as well. Do you find that people are very supportive of the homegrown and the Irish product?
I think Irish consumers, yes, they are very savvy and they are very sophisticated. I think they like to support something that is here, made here in Ireland, that is creating employment. Because I think, particularly, I noticed that when we started in the recession, people were very loyal to Irish producers. And I think that will be the same thing again over the next few years, because the economic environment is going to be very challenging.
Yeah.
So I think that is going to be key again.
Are you constantly kind of keeping an eye on the competition and their fragrances and what's in vogue?
I don't get obsessed by it, because this is the type of sector that nearly every month there'll be a new brand popping up. We create new fragrances from scratch, and they're quite interesting and innovative, and that's why we've won 10 different awards over the last 10 years
Oh, well,
for the
congratulations.
quality of our products and for the innovative blends. Like, for example, saffron, patchouli and oud. You know, that's a really spicy, woody blend. Lavender, cyclamen and sea salt. That's very much a coastal floral blend.
Even the names are very, I suppose, attractive.
People look at a product, they look at the name of the product, they look at the description, they look at the packaging, they buy with their eyes, with all of their senses.
Listening to you and having the conversation, you're obviously an entrepreneur, you're very passionate, but you've got a good insight also into the psychology of the business, which I think is very important. Seems to be.
I wanted to create a business and market something that I was really passionate about, because you can be much more creative and enthusiastic about something you're passionate about.
Well, you certainly are, and it's been a pleasure, Alison. Gur míle maith as teacht isteach tráthnóna, agus leis sin támuid chun brise beag a thugant. We'll be back in a couple of minutes, so don't go away.